Janet, Kuester, Dreams, Destiny, and Manifestation.
Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, I'm so happy to be here today to talk to you about dreams, destiny, and manifestation. Every time I see the movie Field of Dreams, which I'm sure most of you have seen, yes? Yes. I always get chills at the end of the movie when Burt Lancaster is Doc, and he has already, we've learned that he was a Major League Baseball player he would get to be, but he gave that up in favor of becoming a doctor. And when he has an opportunity to do a do-over, he instead decides to jump over a line and save a child's life. And really that movie shows us sometimes in giving up our dreams, we do find our destiny. So today I wanted to ask you to stop and examine your life. Look at where you are and where you might be called to be. I want you to look inside of yourself. It's not really a thinking thing, it's a feeling thing or a heart thing. Sometimes it's just a dream that's almost like an obsession, and it just won't leave you until it's manifested. I always like this line from a song from The Sound of Music, Climb Every Mountain. A dream that will need all the love you can give every day of your life for as long as you live. So I wanted to just give you a little bit of stories about my life that serve sort of as an example. In a lot of ways, I really do feel like I've had a miraculous life. When I was little, my dreams were to be able to play music, and I wanted to get married and have children, and I knew I wanted to help people. And the other thing was, since I grew up in poverty, I also wanted to not live in poverty. When I was 5 years old, I saw the movie Fantasia, and that changed my life because I could hear the music that I wanted to be with the rest of my life, and it was classical music. I would confiscate all the musical instruments that my family members had, my little brothers and sisters, and I would try to play them all. And I loved to watch people play the piano. And I did the only thing that I felt a child could do, at least me, because I wanted a piano and we didn't seem to be able to find the money. I started praying for a piano. I would pray every night, please send me a piano. So, guess what? A miracle did happen. When I was 12, I had 5 younger brothers and sisters, and I was very good at playing with little children and teaching them, of course. And my mother had just come home after her 3rd mental breakdown. She actually had difficulty postpartum, and they didn't really know that then, but that's what it was. She would just have a breakdown after the last 3 of them. But she was home from that one. I was 12 years old, and I continued to pray for that piano. And what happened was that we found an ad in the paper for a piano, and we got an old upright for $5. So we moved it to our house, and pretty soon my parents' circumstances became better, and I got to actually have lessons for about a year, and then until my dad said, you know enough now, you can play, you can quit. And right around the same time, I came from the town Jack Benny, the entertainer, lived in. I even went to Jack Benny Junior High, and guess what? They were having violin lessons that you could have for $1 a month plus have a violin. So I said, well, gee, I don't know about playing the violin, but it's only $1 a month. What do you think? My mom said, you're playing the violin. So I started that too. And then I got to high school. By then I was in high school, and I auditioned for an orchestra. And the music school I went to had actually, again, been founded by Jack Benny, the entertainer. And Jack Benny, or the 2 people there, said, why don't you take lessons? And I said, because we have no money. And they said, we'll give you the money and you can take lessons. So my parents paid a very small fee, and I got to take those lessons. And I was really happy about that, though I did the normal things that kids do, like lay off the practice and things, but I was always held accountable. I had fantastic teachers there too. Well, as I got towards high school, I was really torn because I thought I could go to school for medicine, and doctors made a lot more money than musicians did. So I was really torn. But again, I did follow my heart. I decided I'd go to music school. I wasn't so sure I wanted to be a teacher, but I did want to play music. So I went to school for music. And then when I graduated, there was no such thing as entrepreneur, as a career choice. I had no idea. and I had no idea how to set up something like I teach privately, and I'm able to make a living doing that. It just didn't make any sense. So I got married when I was in college. I had my 2 children right away, and I decided to go back to school, and this time I went for nursing because I felt it was very important to have a stable career. So through my 20s, I practiced all the time. I gave lessons, did everything I could. Ended up getting divorced when I was in my 30s, and that was sort of unexpected, but I had means to support myself and my children between nursing and music, and I also learned a lot of things in nursing. One of my friends said to me, when you go to work, you see people die, and she was a teacher, but I came to see it as a real privilege and a daily reminder that nothing's guaranteed and to really learn to treasure every day. And I also took some seminars because the hospital would always make sure that we got to go to some. And some seminars I took were exposed me to personal growth kinds of things. And I learned basically to stop complaining about my lot in life and to learn to ask a question instead, how can I make things fun? And then some great things happened to me. I was in my 40s. I met a very, very wonderful man. We're happily married. And I started having this nagging thought that maybe I should open up a music school. But how was I going to do it? I had no idea. Then, my 47th birthday, something happened. It was pretty tragic. I fell and broke my shoulder, just taking a shower. And the next 2 years, I spent teaching general music because I couldn't push the carts around for nursing anymore. And then after that stint of general music, I started having that nagging dream again, like thinking maybe, just maybe, I'll open that music school I always wanted to open. So I started meeting with SCORE counselors, and this is where the manifestation or all the things sort of came together. I started meeting with SCORE counselors. I was really afraid to open that business, but then another thing happened too, and here was like my third miracle of the time. I said, if I had $1,000, I'd open my music school, and sure enough, I opened an envelope my mother gave me when my grandfather passed away, and it was exactly $1,000 in that envelope, exactly. So I opened that music school, not to say that there weren't a lot of troubles and hardships or anything along the way, but I did open that music school, and then the other thing that happened was I started working for a not-for-profit. I had a dream one night that I should do what had been done for me, and I should open a not-for-profit and continue to do things like teach children, give them an opportunity that they wouldn't have otherwise had, and to sort of have a way to pay it forward. So I want you to know that nagging feelings are sort of the way that you can find your destiny. You can keep seeking and searching and take action and better action. And it's about to seek and search, and ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find. And I do think it's about helping others along the path. And the most important thing I've learned is if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks.